Okay, right, let's do this. So hi, if you happen to have stumbled onto my little corner of the internet, then hello, I welcome you here. It's great having you, and my video content is going to be so niche that I'm really curious about how you would have stumbled across me, but also I appreciate it and hope you enjoy the ride. So today I was going to just talk mainly about creative inspiration and feeling creatively blocked. A lot of my content last year was very much rooted around a lot of hard things I went through. So I wrote a lot about my mental health, some experiences I had that caused me to have a little bit of a breakdown, and I wrote about that a lot, and I got quite a lot of attention from that, and quite a lot of opportunities came out of that. So I felt like I had to keep writing and rehashing all of those sad experiences. But then last year was also the year where I really wanted to focus on getting better. So I went to therapy, I started medication, and I'm in a position now where I'm so much happier. And oh my god, I'm so distracted. But outside there are 3 blue jays. No, not blue jays, not mocking, the ones, magpies. Okay, sorry, that was such a sidetrack and it seems really irrelevant, but I think it's kind of a divine thing about me moving out, because when I was in the throes of bad times, I would always get really obsessive about magpies and be like, I need to see more than one of them, because, you know, one for sorrow, two for joy. And then in my head, it would be like, the more I see, the more like better things would be. That's not as intense now, but even to this day, I still get really happy when I see magpies. And there are 3 magpies that have kind of permanently situated themselves outside my window, and I see them every morning, and I kind of feel like, oh, this is really nice because it tells me that I'm in the right place at the right time, and it feels like a permanent source of joy. Sorry, that's so cheesy and so off topic, but anyway, back to creative inspiration. And you'd think I would have written a poem about it, but I wrote about a lot of the sad things that happened and had opportunities and people reach out for different things. So I got to be on the radio and read some of my poetry. I got to do some like really cool open mics. Sorry, I am getting a cold, so I sound really snivelly. And that was really cool, but it felt like I was gaining that popularity and gaining that attention through writing sad things, and that made me always keep writing like that. But I think this year, and ever since I started to feel really much better in my head and a lot more healthy and in a place where I can feel like I can say for the first time in a while, I do feel okay, and I do feel good about myself, and I do feel that I process hard things much better than I did in the past, and I don't do bad behaviours as much as I did in the past, but it's meaning that I'm more blocked for writing, because I feel like it's always really hard in the world of social media as well, when you get a sudden surge of followers after you start doing one thing, and you feel like you have to be doing that one thing all the time. But it's when you keep rehashing these sad moments, it sometimes feels weird, and it feels like I'm kind of exploiting myself a little bit. It feels disingenuous to be like, I don't know how to explain it, but it feels disingenuous, and it feels like it's putting a lot of unnecessary strain on myself that I shouldn't be putting myself in, because it's my work and it's my platform. So if I want to do something different and go in a different creative direction, then I should be able to. But it's hard, it's really hard. And I think with the age of social media, when poetry is quite a niche one, because when you post on Instagram, if you're an artist or you're a musician or you're, I don't know, what's another creative one? And just general influence, you can create a lot more visually impactful content. But with poetry, it's usually just written words, and to start writing something and then also produce written content to accompany it is quite a lot of work, which I've found. And like, it's not something I'm an expert in doing, so I don't really enjoy doing it. And having to balance that alongside a full-time job is just it's not feasible for me, and I know that for sure, because I'm just not someone who can do that shit.
So I'm just trying to take a step back this year and try and focus on tuning out what I think everyone wants and instead focusing on what I want to do. Like, I've tried to do more creative projects that I found really fun. I found last year with my Hinge matches, because I'm back on Hinge. It's really bad. It's not great. That's another story. But yeah, I'm back on Hinge and like Tinder, and I used to have a prompt that's just like, oh yeah, ask me to write you a poem for you, and then guys would give me random prompts and I'd write them a poem, and I found that really fun because all the prompts I usually think of for creative is like, okay, take yourself back to a really hard time, write about feeling really low, all of those kind of things, rather than like some random guy being like, write about a banana, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is like, it's nice to ground yourself and like realize why you do what you do. So I'm thinking of doing that again. Also to make use of the fact that I've downloaded such a like toxic, horrible app that does sometimes make my self-esteem go like that. So I think it would be nice to do more things like that. And I'm also trying to Hinge have all these prompts that they give you for your profile, and I'm trying to make poems out of those, which actually I'm finding harder than I thought it would be, because some of them are just so random. It'll be literally like, what's the one I did? A life goal, something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. But I think it also helps me like to reevaluate how I interpret and analyze and like use a prompt. It doesn't have to be word verbatim writing about life goals. It could also be pulling out a specific life goal of mine and writing about that. I'm trying not to be as hard on myself, and I think that's translating into my writing. I feel like I don't have to write as like specific or make it so it's really easy to analyze and understand by people. But it is really hard. I think it is a big bit is about like the world of social media and stuff. Sometimes it's really hard to not feel like a valid writer as well when you're using that as your main platform of creating. Because I haven't had work published or won any competitions, not for lack of trying. I'm just not good enough. No, it's quite hard and time consuming to find time to like create stuff for that's just general content, create stuff for publication, create stuff for competitions, which have usually got quite a fixed brief, and then to balance having a life and then balance having a job. It's too much, and I'm someone that gets burnt out so easily that it's just not feasible for me to do that. So yeah, this is such a rambly one for my introduction, but I just wanted to kind of give you some context to who I is and like what I'm struggling with at the moment, and just like introduce myself a bit, even though I'm in like the ugliest sweater in the world. It's just really cold, and I woke up like 5 minutes ago, and I'm getting a visit from my sister, so I need to actually get my life together a bit more. But yeah, I think I want to dedicate this channel to just kind of finding fun in poetry again, and trying to help other people as well who are kind of in the same boat, because I find it really reassuring to hear when other people feel this way and like feel really burnt out by like the expectations of what they think they need to be producing, and like trying to create poetry that can be mass produced for like a big Insta audience. And then like, I don't know, but I also do try to just remind myself that not everyone's gonna like what you create, and it's kind of impossible to please everyone. Like, there are some mainstream poets, which I won't name, that I would rather eat glass than like read their poems, because it's just not my scene. I think it's quite yeah, I'm not gonna go into it, otherwise I'll go on a rant. But there's some I'm like, oh my god, that's so bad. And then there's others which I'm like, people don't seem to like this, but I love it personally. So I think that always helps me to think that way. But yeah, and this is just like a little introduction, a little nugget into my life. I'm gonna just kind of use this as a platform to show you my creative process, like how I create work, how I think of ideas. Maybe you'll join me a bit for like submissions of things and trying to like actually submit my work to literary journals and
competitions and stuff. But yeah,